Newswatch 18 with Jayne Jeffery.
Good evening. The number 2 man in the State Department is warning Congress to rein in the National Security Council. Deputy Secretary of State John Whitehead told the House Foreign Affairs Committee today that his department is disenchanted with the unit. He also remarked that although he didn't want to differ with the president, he still believes there is recent evidence of Iranian involvement in terrorism. Many committee members expressed surprise at Whitehead's candor. Meanwhile, during a White House picture-taking session, President Reagan today insisted that the secret Iran initiative was not a mistake. He also stated that contrary to speculation, he was not firing anybody. Nicaragua's vice president today had some encouraging words on the fate of Wisconsinite Eugene Hasenfuss, who's in prison for his role in running guns to Nicaraguan rebels. At a news conference in Boston, the Nicaraguan official said Hasenfuss could be pardoned in an effort to help relations between Managua and Washington. The body of a Milwaukee man was positively identified today as that of 43-year-old Brian Barrington. His remains were discovered in a farmer's field in Waukesha September 11th, but he had been missing since July 17th. Barrington was an employee of the Daily Planet, a bar located downtown. According to police, he apparently died of a drug overdose. They're holding a 44-year-old man. A 38-year-old steelworker from Gary, Indiana, remains in critical but stable condition this evening at St. Luke's Hospital in Milwaukee with the Jarvik 7 artificial heart. Ronald Smith became Wisconsin's first recipient of the artificial heart Friday. Doctors are now waiting for a suitable human donor to become available. More than 4,000 General Motors workers in Janesville are getting an extended Thanksgiving break. The automaker laid them off today because of a parts shortage caused by the strike at a Delco plant in Kokomo, Indiana. Workers there have gone back to their jobs, but it may be a while before more parts become available. For about 1,000 skiers, it's going to be another night at a mountain resort near Glacier, Washington. The skiers were stranded yesterday when floodwaters closed the highway leading to the ski resort. Volunteers are using helicopters and tractors to bring in food. This is National Adoption Week, and adoption advocates are hoping to remind families gathering for the holidays that many children still need homes. Events were held in many cities across the United States today to kick off the week. There are many older, disabled, and minority children awaiting parents. On a related topic, a new report concludes that the use of video cassette recorders might be the strongest new element in American classroom instruction in the 1990s. The report, done by a firm in Denver, says 79% of this country's public schools now have VCRs. Milwaukee businessman George Watts says he's hoping for an appointment from Governor-elect Tommy Thompson. Watts finished third in this year's Republican primary election and would like to be the Secretary of the Department of Health and Social Services. Illinois officials confirmed today that a 700-pound elk cow was shot by a deer hunter over the weekend near the Wisconsin-Illinois border. That's pretty far from the animal's normal grazing range, and one conservation officer says there's no doubt it was an elk and a big one. In fact, he said it made a lot of the big deer at the check station look small. In sports, the Green Bay Packers lost to the Chicago Bears in the closing minutes of yesterday's game at Soldier Field 12-10, but that wasn't the biggest news to come out of the Windy City. Bears coach Mike Ditka said today that quarterback Jim McMann may be out for the season because of a shoulder injury. Meanwhile, the NFL will review tapes of Green Bay Packers Charles Martin's late hit on McMann to determine if further disciplinary action is necessary. Martin was ejected from the game yesterday. The Milwaukee Bucks are off until Wednesday night when they take on the Washington Bullets at the arena. Coach Don Nelson will get another chance then to pick up his 500th coaching victory. The Los Angeles Lakers kept that milestone out of reach last night with a 127-117 win. Wisconsin fullback Joe Armentrout says he hopes university officials can overlook the Badgers' disappointing 3-9 record when considering interim coach Jim Hillis for the full-time position. Hillis was named interim coach last spring when Dave McClain died. And briefly looking at the weather, tonight mostly clear, cool, and dry, lows ranging from 30 to 34 degrees. Tomorrow, sunny and mild with increasing cloudiness by the afternoon, highs near 50. Right now in Milwaukee, under clear skies, our temperature is 33 degrees. I'm Jayne Jeffery for Newswatch 18.
Newswatch 18 with Jayne Jeffery.
Well, they'll zone you when you're walking on the street. And they'll zone you when you're trying to keep your seat. Well, they'll zone you when you're walking on the floor. then they'll zone you when you're walking through the door. But I would not feel so all alone. Everybody must get zoned. Weeknights at 10 on TV 18.
Step back into history tomorrow at 8 when Frederick Forrest stars in Ruby and Oswald here on WVTV 18.